Okay, so we covered this a while back regarding donuts and garbage and sweets pre-workout. Now someone has written in, what about donuts post-workout? We're going to cover donuts as sweets, because to me there's really no nutritional value in donuts. It's like saturated fat. I don't find any time to include that in a healthy diet. So let's just say muffin or chocolate or whatever it is that you want to have. Cookies post-workout. I'm not totally opposed to it. You'll see a lot of protocols where some people have two bowls of Lucky Charms post-workout with a protein shake. There were times in my prep, usually at the beginning, say I run a legit 16 to 20 week prep. The first 8 to 10 weeks, I will have some post-workout carb. It's usually a carb powder mixed with my whey. And that was just a simpler way for me to measure exactly how much I was having. But it could be 6 rice cakes. It could be 2 bowls of Lucky Charms. It could be a muffin or a couple Pop-Tarts. I don't see anything wrong with it. I do see something wrong with donuts because it's just the nutritional value of them is garbage. But if your goal is to replenish glycogen, recover, and you don't really care about a little bit of body fat, your goal is to increase mass and size, then I think there is a point at which you can do that. Like I said, if you're going on a long prep, 16, 20 weeks, 22 weeks, something like that, the beginning stages of it, you could utilize that post-workout carb technique. It works good, better for others than some, but it's something that I'm particularly very careful of. I don't do it. I never did it very long, and it wasn't an everyday thing. It might have been on a weaker body part. For me, chest. When I say weaker, I don't mean weak. I'm pretty strong with bench pressing and things like that. But as far as in comparison to my arms, my shoulders, my chest appears flatter than the rest of me. So I would utilize the post-workout carb, rebound, whatever, glycogen restorage, refeed, whatever you want to call it, recomp. I hear so many nonsensical terms on Facebook and people posting, I'm 2 days into my recomp, looking pretty good. I'm like, what are you even talking about? I don't know. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. But post-workout carbs, I think it's good. I think there's a time and a place for it. I don't think when you're trying to get bone dry shredded, that there is a time for it. Unless you're John Meadows and your heart is Sandy Beach. He has that grizzly look to him. I think he can have carbs whenever he wants, and he's still going to get hard. Where other people, you have to be very particular, and post-workout carbs aren't going to help you get harder. For me to get that dry, crazy John Meadows look, I need very few carbs. Most people would be astonished at how little I actually eat, particularly how little carbs I actually eat, and how much cardio I require. I was talking about that earlier this morning with one of my clients. Like, it is what it is. Like, I require a ton of cardio to get hard. I do 45 minutes on the step mill every morning. I do 45 minutes on the bike or the treadmill after I train. Plus I train for an hour. Plus I'm on my feet all day training people. I require a lot of activity to get as shredded as I do. For me to be my best, I gotta burn. And others don't. You know, my boy David Henry does little to no cardio, and he looks like that. You know, genetics are a hell of a thing. But you need to find out who you are, what your body requires, and make adjustments accordingly. I'm not a big advocate of the post-workout carb, but there are some people who are going to need it. Definitely. You got to figure out who you are and where you stand on that scale. Do you need post-workout carbs? Are you one of those people that needs to go so low that in order to get in shape that you can't afford to have it? Figure that out and then go. So I'm not 100% opposed to it. I just don't like garbage food for the fun of it. So donuts, no. Some other things, sure. All right. Hope this makes sense. It's just not me babbling, because it makes sense to me. I don't know why I always say that. I know what I'm trying to say. I hope it comes across the right way. My boy Shane won't publish this if it doesn't make sense anyway. All right. Thanks for all the questions, and keep them coming. This is the Boston Mass. Thanks again for watching. Now, if you're not subscribing, subscribe now. Tell all your friends to subscribe. If you haven't, do it now.